teams, and I'm a divisional chef. So I serve 20,000 people in 4 hours. When I tell people like I'm a chef, they assume I'm working in a restaurant or a hotel of some sort. But when I tell them, I'm like, oh, actually, no, I try and feed, 20,000 people in less than 4 hours, several days a week. It's like, it immediately gets a conversation started. As I'm walking into the day of the event, it's quiet. And it's essentially a calm before the storm. And it's a kind of that surreal feeling. You know what is on the horizon. You know that it's all the way to the actual moment that it happens. Each event almost gives you like your own little adrenaline rush. It's you've prepared for days, if not weeks, sometimes months for these kinds of events, and to know that you're within hours, minutes, and seconds of the doors opening, it's that pressure cooker feeling. No venue can be run but just one person, and so I rely heavily on my team. So I really do entrust that they will be there and support me in order to make sure this event goes seamless.
First of all, great job everybody yesterday. I think we broke all kinds of numbers. The lines and concessions were moving quick. The clubs were amazing. The offerings that we did were great. So really, just give yourself a round of applause. That was incredible. Tonight is going to be a little bit more intense, but I think that we're all well positioned. We've all seen it. We know how to live it and breathe it. I'm really proud of you guys.
If you do feel like you're falling behind, please let us know. We'll jump in and help you guys out.
So everything got shifted forward an hour. So just be cognizant of that. Our doors, now premium doors, are 6 o'clock. 6:30 is when the actual general admission doors. 7:30 is tip off.
What does it feel like to manage an event like this? I want to say it gets easier over time, but I have to say there's always a challenge. And I think that's what I'm most passionate about, is never is it always the same thing every single time. And it's whether you're changing your menu items or whatever the service flow is, it's consistently challenging in its own way. Growing up on Maui was definitely enriching experience. I got to try so many different cuisines, different styles of food, meet different kinds of people all the time. Being a tourism-based economy, there's people always coming and traveling through there, so I can take some of those flavor profiles and those cooking techniques and show them to people here on the mainland. Growing up in Hawaii influenced a lot of the way that I manage my teams. I like to have, I guess, aloha is the best way to put it. This is more of a situation where I'd rather build people up than break them down. So I think that style of just growing up out there where everybody's very happy, very positive, and we all embrace each other in a nice, positive way. It's nice to be able to give that to the rest of the world and my team. And I think that helps me with commanding the team that I have, because everybody likes a boss that's actually nice to them. Seeing young chefs and they're passionate about what they're doing and being, almost like a mentor or a role model in that way, I think is quite rewarding, especially for the younger generation. I'm a single father of 2 boys, and so I like to embody that role, especially in my operations. When everything is going into madness and everybody's panicking, I'm like the cool, calm, collected, chill one, kind of keeping it together, kind of quarterbacking, calling out the audibles, and making sure everybody's going good. Growing up in Hawaii had a huge impact on my views of sustainability. The amount of plastics that goes into the oceans, the amount of waste that we just as consumers generate. I knew with these large arenas, if we could be a little intentional about those plastics and those single-use items and how we use them, we could have a significant impact versus just being at home and putting in the recycling bin. If we're dealing with 20,000 people a day, think about just changing a plastic bottle or a straw or a lid or a cap. By changing that, even plate, if you could use something more sustainable, we can make that impact.
This is our crunch time. As you can see, there's lots of moving pieces to the operation. This is where the magic really comes together. And this is, I feel pretty darn good about it. So trusting my staff to make sure that they're putting the best quality things out there and do a little bit of critical thinking to make sure, if there's an issue, to handle it and be empowered themselves. Really, it's all about, just the people that you surround yourself with. It's, like I said, no one chef could do an entire event like this. Doors have been open for a half hour. Our concessions are starting to get bustling. People are funneling into our clubs. Our suite owners are actually moving into their suites and seeing all those areas. We're firing everything fresh, so we're doing all the fried items a little bit later to make sure that everything's nice and crisp and fresh. So, as you can see, we have a line that's kind of just starting to grow over here. You can actually time our guests. They're able to come through here, and it only takes them about 2 to 3 minutes that they're able to go in. It's very different than the actual traditional belly up service. It's like this new innovative way that we're able to have our guests come through. They walk through, they grab a fresh, delicious, and perfectly prepared sandwich, grab their beverage, they come over here. It's just like how over at H-E-B or any other kind of grocery store where you do the self-scan. We just implemented it here. What did we notice? Over a 50% revenue boost.
What motivates me to work in such a high pressure environment would have to be the principle that I came from a small town of 20,000 people, and the fact that I'm able to serve 20,000 people a day in some of my arenas at my properties just gives me an overwhelming sense of pride. I always say follow the food. It's important to just continue to do that. It's not going to be the same 30 minutes, 1 hour, hour and a half in. So you're constantly going and you're circling back some of these club locations, making sure that the product is replenished. Your concession stands, making sure that those windows are full. Oh, that was an onslaught. That was, we broke records. There's no doubt about it. That was probably one of the busiest events that I've ever seen in my entire time here. So proud of my team. That was incredible. The lift that we had, the consistency of the events. We're still getting ready for another one tomorrow, but we are just going to keep on keeping on. And I know the team's tired. I'm tired, but we're going to continue to persevere because that's what we do over here. What was the biggest difference between the Spurs game and this concert would have to be the fact that it's a game and a concert. So I noticed that we sell so much more cocktails and beverages, NA-Bev, things like that, mocktails even to our younger guests that are coming through here. It's not as heavy of a food lift as it was, for the Spurs, but it gave us the opportunity to showcase some of our more challenging and complex dishes and really just make sure that we're executing at the same highest level that we did for the Spurs, but with even more intention and in terms of presentation, because we're not just inundated with volume. We have so much, we are able to make sure that everything is at the best level that could be. So definitely way more cocktails and definitely a little bit less food. What is a big misconception about large food scale events like stadiums and arenas? It's not just hot dogs and popcorn. I'll tell you that. There's so many facets to the building and different outlets and styles with chef table experiences, past apps, hors d'oeuvres. It's the equivalent of having 20 restaurants in one building. The biggest challenge of managing food service at stadiums and arenas is first and foremost the safety of the food. There's so much that goes into the logistics and just getting the food, making sure that it's considered safe. We document every step of the way, from when it leaves the oven to when it gets to the guest table. So how do I manage all the different teams all across North America? It's with constant communication, making sure I'm always on my phone, I'm always available to my teams, and that we are every step of the way we're working together. And whatever, if they have a challenge, they know they can just always pick up the phone and call me.
How do you feel at the end of the event?
How do I feel at the end of the event? You feel proud, you know that you did your absolute best. There's always areas for improvement, but you're typically a little bit battered and beaten from it because you're constantly moving. With this show, I want to be able to pull the curtain back and show the behind the scenes of what actually goes into actually making these amazing events happen. Massive sporting events, Super Bowls, high profile artists that are constantly happening, whether it's a Bonnaroo or a Burning Man, the challenges that goes into those things.
So we did a signature package for the Spurs as they came through here. So this is a San Antonio slider that we did. It's got some caramelized onions, a little bit of flank steak, some arugula, and a little bit of tobacco fried onions that we wanted to have on there. This has actually been the most successful package that we've had here at the Moody Center, so I'm really quite proud of what we're putting forward here. I'm surprised how many orders I got, honestly.
Where do you see yourself going next in your career?
Oh, there we go. We're already locked in for our next event, so it looks like Rufus Du Sol is where we're going to be headed next.
Tired of waiting to find out what you're thinking, 'cause I need to know. 'Cause you're all that I want and I can't get enough of you. I just wanna know, am I crazy for saying that I need your love? Yeah, I just wanna know, am I crazy for saying that I need your love? I just wanna know, am I crazy for saying that I need your love? Yeah, I just wanna know, am I crazy for saying that I need your love? Craving, I've been craving your arms around me every night. Yeah, you amaze me. I was dark till I met you, then I saw the light. 'Cause you're all